Alright, here we are, it's Faf and I, to review the elemental breakdown of TEK's Brave Frontier list. Faf, you want to start us off?
I would like to start off. I would like to start us off by saying that this should be a lot faster than the other one because most of this isn't going to be us disputing the actual grades because Raccoon, if you could scroll down to the bottom, as you're going to see, text grading scale is weighted in such a way that no unit gets below a 70, which means that effectively 70 is the lowest grade you can get. Which means that in terms of actual statistics, this makes 70 essentially a 0 and a 99 a 100. So we're going to assume that each of the points on this list is worth 3, and by that logic, any unit below 90 just outright 90 or below just outright fails based on that, which is again not a good way to structure this.
Yes, essentially. Shall we start from the top?
We can't. I'm not going to. I don't think we should go through every unit individually. I'm going to be referencing the other tier list a lot because there are some interesting inconsistencies between where units are placed in the tiers and where they are on these grades.
Absolutely.
And although I know that Zach has seen our previous video and is actually watching it as we record this, and will probably put out an update to his tier list soon, we're going to be reviewing this part of the tier list in the state that it's in right now.
Yes.
For accuracy.
That is the most important thing to remember. We are reviewing the one that was updated. This is March 27th, 2019. So if there are further updates, we will again go back and review the updated tier list at some point, depending on the interest that is gauged in this video and the previous one, which seems to be very high. We may do it, higher priority. We'll just have to see how things play out. But for now, we will be reviewing the current one that we have.
We will also not be attempting to compare unit grades across elements very much because, to be honest, grading units across different elements is incredibly subjective in terms of what their units are. But I will get out of the way right now that if we did do that, this is probably visible on your screens, actually. Blade and Bailey both have a rating of 93. Hadaron has a higher rating than Mazda. And Hale has a high... Well, okay. And Samira has a higher rating than Andari.
Yep.
Andaria has an equal rating to Azurai. I get the feeling that if I keep going down this route, we're just going to get a lot of those statements.
Yeah.
And it's really not super interesting to do that. So we're going to just go down the elements because there are some interesting things there too.
Absolutely. I'd say that we start with arguably, in my opinion, the most controversial element being thunder.
We're going to start with thunder.
Yes.
All right.
We'll go thunder, and then we'll move left from there. Then at the end, we can loop back to the top 15, I guess.
Yeah, the top 15 will probably be last. I guess we could... I don't want to create our own top 15 because I just loathe this grading scale.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to avoid that like the plague.
Yes. So let's start with a rating of 97 for Izuku.
I mean, it's the highest rated Thunder unit, so he's got that accurate.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't... The issue that I take, again, and this is going to be the biggest struggle for me throughout this video, the issue that I take with this grading system is there is absolutely no explanation why. Is Izuku receiving a 97 because he, is a good damager? Why is he missing out on 2 points? Being, arguably the most damaging unit in the game if you're using the Deku side strategy. I mean, where did the missing 2 points go? Did they go to his usefulness in Colo and Arena? Because at that point they should have taken more points away. It doesn't make sense.
The only thing that you are able to figure out from this list are what's limited edition, what's a Brave Insignia unit, what's a mitigator, and what's a triple attacker.
Essentially,
And
yes.
I guess you could somewhat try and figure out what a unit was from the latter two, but that doesn't really mean much because even some of the triple attackers are rated. Does Zorag even have a triple attack?
I believe he might on SP.
I'm gonna check that. I don't. I've never used Zorag, so I don't.
Yeah, I believe you can add a combo attack to his SBB with SP, but I'll check.
Don't people mainly use him for his BB anyway?
Yeah, Zorag is a double attacker, no triple.
Combo massive random.
But you can add a 25 combo massive fire attack on all foes and partial HP drain effects to SBB. So theoretically, you can make him into a triple attacker.
I'm looking at his SP on the wiki, and it doesn't have that. Or is it from extra skill?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you were... I'm looking at the wrong thing. Go ahead.
So, Zorag... Okay, so not even the...
Rikumas suck. But yeah, we can't even trust the red italics. So
I can't even trust those. Zorag is labeled as a triple attacker, but he isn't. Okay. I guess if we find, we can look for those inconsistencies as we go. Yeah. Now that we know they exist, we can point them out.
So, I mean, Izuku, obviously, 97, the rating makes no sense. So, I mean, if you're rating Izuku on a damage basis, a 97 is wholly incorrect. You should have received a 99 out of 99. But, I mean, I guess we just move past it. Next up, I feel like our best bet is to compare these units based on their scoring to each other than the score itself, because there is no consistency here to this scoring basis.
We also compare it to his own list.
Yeah.
Which is going to run into a problem almost immediately because we have Fenia at 96, which is in tier 1, a difference of 1 point. And then we have Tavarius in tier 2 at 95, also a difference of 1 point.
There's a difference of 1 point, but it's a difference of 2 points, but 2 tiers away from Deku.
1 tier per point.
Okay.
Just what?
Mind you, Sheriff is in a higher tier. Sheriff and Mikhail, the next 2 units, are in a higher tier than Tavarius, but are rated lower.
Also, Mikhail has an equal grade to Tavarius, but is in a tier higher than Tavarius, and no justification is given as to why, other than deal with it.
Yep, pretty much. We don't even get a deal with it. The deal with it is implied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cerise is once again in tier 2. Where is Tate? I get the feeling Tate is back down in tier. So we're jumping to tier 3 now for a 94, even though Cerise and Sheriff are also 94s. Tate is rated the same as Sheriff, who is tier higher than her. And then we get Nan, and we're in tier 3, which implies that 94 would be tier 3, but it isn't. Yep. And then we jump back to tier 2 with Urza, who has a 92. A 93. Why is she in tier 2 now?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Status, again in tier 2, even though there are units above him that are in tier 3.
Yep.
This is just going to loop in on itself.
Yeah, this is
what this is going to be, by the way.
Essentially, yes. Extremely frustrating.
Skits pointing out in the chat, the initial incarnation of list had Tavarius higher than both Deku and Finn, and it was only after he received pretty much unanimous backlash that he changed it. I don't have a copy of that tier list, but if I did, then I would show it on the corner of the screen just for reference to how this evolved.
Yeah.
Also, Sheriff's name is spelled wrong.
Yep. Durham is at a 93.
Zedis is also at a 93. Remind me again. what tiers those are in.
Yeah.
Durum is in tier 3 and Zetis is in tier 2. So 93, again, continuing the pattern of inconsistency. Mordred in tier 2, even though. What about Durum?
Yeah.
I think you cut out.
No, we're good. We're good. Keep going. I was just fixing things.
Zellion in tier 3. So we've pretty consistently set 93 as tier 2, tier 3. And note, this is going to be different by element because not all elements follow this format. If you take a sneak peek over at Fire, if we follow the same grading scale he uses for Thunder, then the second you get to like 3 units down, all of those units should be in tier 3 or below.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Keep going. I'm just going to troubleshoot a couple of Discord problems, but continue.
Go for it. Sylvie at 92, so we're down, and situationals. We have now established that 1 point drop makes a world of difference on this list.
Yeah.
Claria, I believe, is another one down. Yeah. No, Claria is on the same as Sylvie. She's also in situational. Pratrum is at 91, same grade as Claria, who is in situational. She is in kind of usable, so we've got inconsistency on 91. There's Daltisk, who is in kind of usable, which I guess makes sense, but that does lead to the question, why is the kind of usable tier have a bigger point margin than all of the other tiers up to this point?
Excellent question.
Long, who... Am I missing something? Wait, he's in tier 3.
Oh.
Okay, so we jumped back up to tier 3 again.
Yep.
89 in tier 3.
All right.
Okay. Then we got Dragar at 88, who isn't even on this list. So we go from borderline to just not even making it on the list.
Yeah.
Or am I blind? Like, chat, do you see Dragar on here? I don't.
I don't see. Oh, yeah, here he is at 88. Below Long.
No, I meant on the...
I don't even think he was on here. I believe that was one of our critiques from the last video, but let me... Dragar. Yeah, there's no Dragar on here.
Okay.
So apparently a rating of 88 puts you in GTFO tier.
But a rating of 89, if you're long, and only if you're long, only if you have cheese grater abs, do you have the honor of being in tier 3.
Good lord. Okay. After that, I mean, it's all trash units from there on down, except a couple, Behemoth. I don't know. I don't get it. Behemoth didn't even make it on the tier list, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly pitch this, even though it's nothing to do with the tier. We're going off the tier list now.
Yep.
We're going into his grade list now, which is what I'm gonna call it to distinguish it better. So Eze has the prestigious honor of being the highest rated of the 6 heroes on his list in terms of grade at 79. This puts Eze above, it puts him equal to Rize, as in like the Thunder.
Deep breath, everyone.
And it puts him above Benimaru, Eriki, Hallelujah, and Fizz.
Yeah.
Fizz by the worst margin. Like the rest of them I understand, but why is Fizz down here? She's an overdrive.
She's a good budget overdrive fill too.
Why is Lid so high?
Lid at an 84.
Why does Lid have the same grade as Behemoth?
Yeah, why would you put Fizz at a 75 and then put Lid all the way up at 84? I mean, I think one of the things that we're seeing here is that there's not a lot of, once you start getting into the JP, Elim units, there's not a lot of I guess, understanding of what they do or their niches, because it seems like they were just kind of put together with a modge podge of random grades. I mean, there is virtually no reason why Eze should be a literal 4 points higher than a Fizz. I mean, it makes no sense.
Yep.
I don't think that there was much understanding of the niches and uses of these Elim units when this was made.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're moving on to another element. Which one do you want to do next?
I believe we're going to work our way left, so we can do water now.
Oh, we're going to do water now.
Oh, yeah.
We start off rather unassuming with the Sovenar at a perfect 99, and I don't feel bad calling it a perfect 99 because there's nothing higher than it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this effectively means that he says that Sovenar is a perfect unit, and although he's not wrong, he's not right either.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact, if you put a Sovenar against, any piece of content, it can die, making it not a perfect unit. So, I don't know about giving it a perfect score.
What about the content where I can't use Sovenar? Am I just fucked?
I mean, why aren't you using Sovenar in that content? It's a perfect unit.
I can't use my Sovenar in Raj.
Bring your Sovenar to Dichroma. It's a perfect unit.
Come on.
Jeez. Okay, next up is Giselle with a 97.
So we've gone for a point drop of 2.
I mean, yeah.
Where is Giselle on this list again?
I'm going to check right now. Giselle is in God tier.
Giselle is also in God tier, so we've got a 2-point variation for God tier. Okay, that's fine. That's better than Thunder got.
Yep.
We're working there.
Vale and Vidron at a 96.
Vale is in tier 1, so 96 is where you start to drop out of God tier.
Mm-hmm.
We got Saren also at 96, so it seems like 96 is where all of the water tier 1s gather.
Except Galleon. Galleon's at 95. My apologies.
Galleon's at 95, which then kicks us into tier 2. So tier 1 is just for 96. Once you get below 96, you can no longer be in tier 1.
Yep.
Keep that in mind later.
Yep, and then we go straight to Serenthis, who is in tier 2, which means that 94 kicks us down to tier 2.
Well, I mean, Galeen was also in tier 2, so we got 95 and 94.
Oh, wow, this is confusing. Sai, again with a 94.
Sai is a 94, but Sai is in tier 2 still. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got Suyu, who's in tier 2. All right, so we're being consistent. The 94s are tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
You have here. We've got Astrid, who is a 93, which drops her down to tier 3. So now we're in tier 3. Okay.
Okay.
Keep this in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hill at a 93, so we're in tier 3. So far, consistency has been earned. We got Ravea at 93, but she's in tier 2, so we've jumped back to tier 2 again.
Yeah.
No explanation given.
None whatsoever.
We've got Twinku at 93, which kicks us... Where? Oh, she's in tier 3.
Okay.
She's in tier 3. All right,
sure,
so we're back to tier 3 again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Kawab, who is in tier 3, so 92 stays in tier 3.
Yeah,
Florence,
absolutely.
I believe, is also in tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
And also has a 92. Then we move to Gasoline, and has been kicked down to situational, despite being a mitigator. Even
sorry, you cut out there. Could you repeat what you were saying?
Gasolina at 92, same as Kawab and Florence, despite how ridiculous it is comparing Gasolina to Florence.
Yeah.
But she's situational, despite having the same grade as them.
That makes sense.
And also despite being a mitigator, which you took to denote on this list. Though for whatever reason, the tier list does not denote triple attackers, despite the element list denoting triple attackers.
Yep.
So there isn't even consistency between the two on that. And I know this might seem like nitpicking, but he's had over a year to perfect his art in this sense. So I feel like all of this is at least somewhat valid in the sense that we need something that is at least comprehensible, if not cohesive.
Absolutely.
Right now, it is neither.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
Next up is Gray.
Gray is now in kind of usable. 91 is kind of usable.
Yeah, it
All
seems
right.
that way.
So that's another drop. Vicky. I'm trying to find where Vicky is. I didn't memorize it. Oh, she's down and kind of usable. So we got consistency on 91.
Mm-hmm.
Tridon, also 91, is in situational. So we're back up there.
Yep.
Gallia is 90. I am looking for Gallia. She is in situational. So we've got a little bit of. She's 90 and is yet higher rated than some of the units in 91.
Yeah.
All right.
Very true.
We've got Wintia, who is in kind of usable. So I guess 90 is definitively where things start to be not kind of usable.
Yeah.
Then we got May, who is in kind of usable at 9. All right. I'm following you here. This makes some lick of sense. Medina, 88, in kind of usable. Lafia, 86, isn't even on this list, despite being one of the easiest units to 0 BC and actually having a pretty strong presence in Kahlo.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to chalk that up to an error on his part.
Rickle, okay.
Rickle, a triple attacker.
Yeah, not denoted as triple attacker.
I think that is the absolute lowest rated triple attacker on this entire list, and is not labeled as a triple attacker.
Of course,
so
of course.
Not only can units be labeled as triple attackers despite not being triple attackers, but they can also be labeled incorrectly the other way as well. And then we get down to Laswell, who is still an excellent water nuker, even though I've never actually pulled one. Yeah. And a lot of people do still use him. And I think from here, we go into a whole bunch of units that I don't even think made it on the list. Wait, no, Elamo made the list. Elamo's in kind of usable tier despite
Ilm is not on the list, by the way.
Who?
Ilm?
Yeah, Ilm's not on the list. Laswell's not on the list despite being the same grade as Elamo. And neither are Cygnus and Isneal from what I'm seeing. So we've got inconsistency on 85, and then everything here on down is in GTFO tier.
Yep.
We've got a huge variation for GTFO tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something happened here.
I'm sorry, but why does Eze get a 79 when he's actually not useful, and Selena gets a 76 even though she's useful for beginner Kahlo?
Why does Kitsu get the same rating as Selena? For similar reasons. Yeah. I guess we're judging this based off hero or what?
I think we're judging this based off not knowing what the units do.
I know the bare minimum of what the units do.
Yeah, me too. But
well, if you asked me to tell you what Iris does, I couldn't tell you. But I know.
I agree with that.
I think that's the end of water.
We can pop back up to light now, where Sero Anya is rated lower than Q-Tong.
And they're both in God tier, so there should be consistency there. Oh wait, here's some inconsistently. Chloe's at 95 in tier 1, but Wendy back up to God. Still at 95.
Yep. I'd just like to take a moment to talk about why Q-Tong would ever be rated higher than Sero Anya. I understand that Q-Tong is extremely viable in both PvE and PvP environments, but the absolute viability of Sero Anya across so many pieces of content absolutely puts her higher than Q-Tong. I mean, I would in any scenario use something with Sero Anya's buff sets over something with Elena's buff sets. And reminder that Elena is a 99 and Sero Anya is a 96.
Raccoon, I need you to do something for me.
Absolutely.
For the remainder of this video or stream or whatever, because of this discrepancy, I want you to put Sero Anya's Doki Doki Literature Club face up in like the top right corner. just
Yeah, I can do that.
staring for
I
the
can do
rest
that.
of the video.
All right, that's fair.
I need that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, the slot efficiency of Sarah Anya is off the fucking charts compared to almost any other unit in the game, especially including Q-Tong. If I were to give anything a rating of 99 on this list, it would be Sarah Anya.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where oh wait, she's not even in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah isn't even on that list.
Sarah got pushed out by Fenia.
Fucking Fenia.
Sarah is rated lower than Giselle. Sarah is rated lower than Q-Tong.
This is why we don't check units across elements, because if we did, then it would be this would take as long as the other one.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer. We could do this all day.
If we were checking units across elements, that would mean that Xenon is better than Sarah Anya. And that it's better to use, you know, a Fenia than a Sarah Anya, or a Giselle than a Sarah Anya. I mean, what? Go ahead. Sorry, I digress.
No, I was just sighing as sort of a... I'm looking at this as we go along. Vanilla, 95. So we got consistency with Chloe, but not with Wendy.
Yep.
All right. Personette at 94, which constitutes a full tier drop again to tier 2.
Yep.
Fiona, which I believe stays consistent and is also in tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think Light is pretty consistent at this point, of just every single point drops you another tier, because then we got Quentin and Quinn at 93, which is tier 3. So this is a rapidly dropping tier list. This is falling apart at the seams.
Absolutely.
In terms of like what these grades mean.
Yeah.
We got Raquiel at 93, which I believe is also in tier 3. Snow Miku at 92, which drops to situational. So we're keeping with that trend, despite how ridiculous that is. I believe we covered that before.
We did, but...
Okay, now we're shooting back up to tier 3 again.
Mm-hmm. And a reminder that for some reason Karnamasta is in tier 3.
Okay.
Because who knows?
Arthur in 92. We're back to situational again. So is Karnamasta just the outlier here? We got Alanon also at 92 in situational. So again, is Karnamasta just the outlier? Lucy at 91, which now officially kicked us into kind of usable, and I already said that I disputed this rating in the previous video, but I'll say it again. Lucy needs to be higher than this.
Yep. Completely agreed. Lucy is still a very viable light support.
Reworked to more accurately reflect what these numbers mean, because right now it's just it's unplayable.
Absolutely.
I said that on purpose. The people from the Brave Network will get that. Got Estia, also at 91.
Yeah.
Which kicks us back up to situational. So Estia
makes sense.
All right.
Yep.
Ezra, which I believe kicks us back into kind of... Yeah, that kicks us back into kind of usable. So
absolutely, of course.
What's up with Estia? Is it because she's a mitigator that she's getting preferential treatment? In that case, what the fuck happened to other mitigators on this list or like Gasolina? What happened to Gasolina? Are you just discriminating against Gasolina? Is it because she has weird feet?
It's true. I bet it's because she has weird feet.
Okay. We got Juno Seto. Same rating as Ezra. Same rating as Estia. Juno Seto.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Juno Seto did not age well. Oh my lord.
Also same rating as Omni, Aurelia, and Luckroar.
Yeah, okay. Alright then. I mean, at the time of this video, a lot of Light was missing a lot of healers. Aurelia was a viable light healer at the time, especially since they didn't have Chizuru who can add HP restoration to BB. So I don't understand these ratings.
Aurelia is not even she's in GTFO tier at 1. You know, it took us until we got into the 80s to get into GTFO tier before, but now we're getting there at 91. What are these numbers again? Am I supposed to treat each of these elements as its own scale? Because if that's what we're going with, then we'll see how that turns out later down the line.
Yeah,
Fuel Fan at 90, which is lower than fucking Aurelia, and is 2 tiers higher in situational. So we've jumped all these 91s who were in kind of usable to situational.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Of course.
Gabriella.
I
could have sworn I saw Gabriella on here. Where is she? Is Gabriella not on this list?
Control F. Yeah, she's not.
She's not. What? What?
Who knows?
What? All right. Lucius, Omni Lucius, is not on this list. Okay, I understand. Alan is the same rating as Fuelfan, and is not on the list. Is Alan not situational enough, or are we going by Aurelia logic here? Because I don't know, and you've made no effort to explain it to me. You've just given me a number and said that's their grade, and then I look at the tiers that you've made from these same grades, and you've created this.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Fina at 89. I could have sworn I saw Fina on this list somewhere. She's just not here.
Yep.
Okay, so she's in GTFO. I'm assuming everything further down is in GTFO, because otherwise I'm going to get upset. Mavis in GTFO, I don't agree with that. All Might GTFO. Isn't Xion on this list in kinda usable? All Might has an equal XP boost to Xion. Or are you saying that Xion's only useful for overdrive fill? Because we have significantly better units for that than Xion.
Sarah, Jacko, Regil.
Emil at 85. And Maxwell at 85. I could have sworn Maxwell was on this list. How did Maxwell...
How did Amadream end up at 84?
Who? Amadream?
Amadream.
Oh, God. Oh.
I have no idea.
And then everything else is just sort of here. Gaston over here at a depressingly low 78.
Gaston is the greatest unit in the game. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Gaston is, in my opinion, the only unit that deserves a 100 out of 99.
And just for the kind of coup de grace over all of this, Elfelt is at 74. This is higher than Diastema, the budget light nuker, and Logi, the Coliseum, what is it, Gladiator tier cancer?
Yeah, he's an excellent, viable unit for Gladiator tier.
And this is also... Atro is rated above all of those things. I am stunned. Also, as it turns out, wait, no, never mind. Nope. Eze is still the highest of the 6 heroes. All right. I think that's the end of Light.
I guess so. We're halfway done. Next
We've
up,
got Acno to start.
Yeah,
and
Acnologia.
Both Kranuses, one grade below it, because I refuse to grace Mitt Kranus with the description. They are not 2 separate units. It literally costs 1 gem to change Nuke Kranus into Mitkranus, and you can do it whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Not that hard.
Yeah, I don't get
If
that.
you're telling me that people cannot spare one gem,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're going hard to summon for something, there are ways to get gems.
Yep.
Especially for a new player, which is presumably what this is marketed towards, who would probably build Newt Kranus anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then would just be like, what is the difference between Newt Kranus and Mitkranus? Because my Newt Kranus can mitigate.
Yeah.
Which your answer would be, what? It can't mitigate as good? What?
Okay. All right then.
And then Xenon with
Xenon
a
at
score
96.
tie with Mitkranus.
Bear in mind that Xenon is in tier 1, which means that even though he has the same score as Newt Kranus and Xerath, he still gets put down a tier from Newt Kranus and Xerath.
There's Xerath, who is now suddenly in God tier again, so 96 has some variability in that
and
regard.
Then 95 drops us back down to tier 1, and then again drops us down to tier 2 with Mitkranus.
So 95 has some variability, though that's all of the dark units and God in tier 1 on this list.
Yep.
That's all of them. They're all gone now.
Mm-hmm. That's all you get. Next up, Ebony and Enid at a 95, but in tier 2.
In tier 2. Isir, 1 point lower, which now puts us back down in tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going by 1 point variations again.
Mm-hmm.
We got Keelazar, which, thank God it pushes us back into tier 2, because I think that I would have pulled something had Keelazar been in tier 3.
Yeah.
Liko also back in tier 2, so I guess Isir is just really getting the shaft here. Like, is it because he wears a mask? Like, is it because he has a mace? Is it because he's the Mad King? Or is it because you have to sort through 28 SP options and that bothers you?
After seeing Isir in tier 3, Isir's not the only one that's mad. Riku's fucking pissed, boys. I don't get it.
Hadaron, 93, and we're in situational now. What?
Yep, we're down to situational. By the way, Hadaron is, we skimmed over this in the last video, an excellent and viable choice as a dark spark, or as a regular spark buffer for dark. If you don't have Acnologia, you can slot a Hadaron to buff your sparks. But at the same time, he's still put in situational, despite being essentially a free-to-play spark buffer that is quite excellent in terms of what he does.
His only weakness is that he doesn't have any elemental weakness damage anywhere, which...
At the same time, you don't need to use him as a leader for that, and you can use other things to slot LS, elemental weakness damage, and then sphere him for elemental weakness damage if you want to, or have, SBB or BB buffs that give elemental weakness damage as well.
Yeah. In any case, we got Alzamasta also at 93 in tier 3, so I must have really hated Hadaron, but loved Alzamasta for some reason.
Alzamasta is barely viable now, by the way.
Alzamasta is pretty much the definition of the kind of usable tier. In the sense that you really don't want to use Alzamasta.
But you can if he's literally the only thing that you have.
Yep. Then we got Keres, a point lower than Alzamasta, who is in situational and is perhaps... I think we ragged on this before, so I'm not going to rehash it again. But I will say that Keres is being placed on the same tier as Hadaron. And I'm just gonna...
Keres has been tagged as a limited edition unit. Is he?
He is not. We get gates with him whenever, I guess we haven't had a guild raid gate in a while, so I guess he is limited edition by that respect.
Does Keres triple attack too? Or no?
No, he doesn't.
I can't remember. Oh, it's Save. Save triple attacks in GR. My apologies.
Yeah,
Save. Go ahead then.
I disagree with the red thing on Save, by the way, because the only concept where that works is guild raid, and this is not being marketed as guild raid Brave Frontier grades, which would be dumb anyway because we haven't had a guild raid in a long, long time.
It's been over 7 months.
I think we've had a trial in the past 7 months.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we had the
one.
casual.
Yeah, we had a casual.
We haven't had an actual guild raid
in
in fucking ages.
Yeah, moving
An episode.
on.
It's a topic for another episode. I'd say that'd be a good one to cover.
R&R, who are in situational, but are also okay. Diardha 92, also in situational. All right. Samira at 92, and we're still in situational.
Yep.
What does this scale mean anymore? Ramlethal at 92, also in situational. Okay, at least there's consistency. Yeah. I say as in 92 and is in kind of usable. So, do you not like Niami? What is your? Do you have some problem with Niami?
Is it the fact that she's cute? Or has big, giant, sharp cat claws on top of her big, cute paws? I don't get it.
I think it's the cat puns.
I don't know. Roglizer at 92?
Roglizer at 92.
Isn't he also in situational?
He's in kind of usable. He's below situational.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is considering that, thinking that Roglizer is only useful for his EXP boost.
Even still, you're putting him on the same tier as Eon, who is a grade below him. Then we got Insataya, who I believe gets back up into situational and is a grade lower than Niami and a lot of these units, and yet makes it into situational, and yet Niami doesn't. What?
I don't know.
And then Xion, who stayed consistent as below Roglizer, but he should really be further below Roglizer. He shouldn't even be on this list. What? And then there's Lancelot, who is in kind of usable. I believe we already covered the specifics of that.
Yeah.
We got Cardes, who is in kind of usable.
I mean, viable free-to-play mitigator if you're trying to keep Paradigm.
We've got Theodore at 91, and this is where I'm going to get mildly upset from here on out, because once you put something like Theodore on the list, everything below it becomes suspect to me. Because Theodore should be one of the worst units for Dark. That is what he is. You should never use Theodore unless you are just desperate to activate I forgot her name for a second. Florence extra skill, and even then I wouldn't use him. So let's see what's below Theodore.
Beatrix, one of Dark's.
Beatrix.
Huh?
Beatrix.
Oh, yeah. Yep. A great overdrive gauge filler, great guard frontier unit. BB gauge instafill on BB, recast on UBB. Okay.
She is also one of the best units in the game to give you the suck.
True, she gives you the suck.
Yep. Merlin, okay, that's fine.
Alright, I guess.
Although Merlin isn't labeled as a mitigator, so I'm still going to rag on you for that. Even though he is. Just equip him with the sphere. Probably hack you.
You should.
Nefret, who definitely beats Theodore.
Oh, yeah.
Galtier, who most certainly beats Theodore. Zephyr, who is, along with Mifune... I just realized we haven't seen Mifune. Where's Mifune? Mifune is down to 80. Mifune is 10 points lower than Theodore. No, 11 points lower than Theodore.
Okay.
Omni Gra, losing to Theodore. Yura,
Ilusen and Illumina losing to Theodore. To Theodore.
What?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at that one. I don't know how you can think that Theodore deserves a 91 while Elucin and Illumina deserve an 86. I mean,
Cheetah at 84, lower than Theodore. Lunaris at 84, lower than Theodore.
why is I'm sorry, just
Deku at 83, lower than Theodore.
not focusing on the Theodore thing for a second. Why the fuck does Zero have a rating of 84?
He's decent.
I
I believe that he is.
I don't think that I have ever used Zero since I pulled him. Like, when I pulled him, when he came out years ago, I used him in my team because I didn't know what he did. I didn't know how the game worked. But nowadays, I mean, Zero's a spark buffer. Just throw a Hadaron at it and be done, you know?
The only reason that I support where Zero is in terms of grade is because everything below him should be worse. And if we encounter a situation where that is not the case, then we will point it out.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Xenia at 83,
Oh,
lower than Theodore.
okay.
Ragina at 82, lower than Theodore and lower than Zero. All right. Elza.
Okay.
81. Elza, one of the longest lived Alim units.
Mm-hmm.
Like she survived for an impressively long time.
Mm-hmm.
Lower than Theodore, lower than Zero. Huh? Elza was used over Zero since her release.
Mm-hmm.
People love Elza.
Yeah.
Then there's Dirk, Rezo, and Fiva, and Toki. I like Toki.
Me too. And there's Mifune at 80 along with Velma.
Mifune is on the same tier as fucking Zalvar.
Okay, sure, dude.
Zalvar's actually a pretty decent Kalo unit. Why isn't he higher? Why isn't Mifune in situational tier? Mifune is definitely situational.
Mm-hmm. Excellent farming unit.
Why does the situational tier exist?
Actually, I think that any time that I'm really farming most things, Mifune is a viable option, which I mean, I don't know why you would put something so viable for a... I mean, farming is a big piece of content, a large chunk of what you end up doing. So why would you put a unit that is the best for farming this low down the list?
Yep. I'm just going to quickly reel off some names that are below Theodore.
Mm-hmm.
Johan, Lily Mata, Zhejiang, Haido. Haido. The Overdrive filler.
Mm-hmm.
Haido. Unit that almost intrinsically has more usage than Theodore, and neither of which have too much usage. Bear in mind.
Yeah.
Haido.
Who knows?
And then we've got Magress.
Mm-hmm.
Luina's rated below Magress.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gregor's at 72? What?
Okay.
Holy shit. Gregor's lower than Zeke.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And then we got Margir and Iori, which makes some sort of sense, though Iori would be higher now.
Well,
because this was pre their update.
I believe that Orochi Iori is a separate unit as well, right?
Yes, Orochi
so yeah,
Iori
don't confuse that.
Yeah.
Orochi
Iori isn't on this list, but that's not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but you know, if it does get updated and Orochi Iori is low down on the list, I am gonna throw a fit, like a man-sized fit. That's a
Orochi Iori ends up being lower than actual Iori, then I will be upset because that's not true in any respect.
If Orochi Iori ends up lower than Theodore, I will throw a fit. You will hear me smashing things across the room, throwing things around, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because now we are at the pinnacle of this tier list, the Earth category.
Earth. I'm going to be listing off, I'm going to start this off by just pointing out, you see the bottom of the Earth tier list on this screen? You see that you see that where Ondaria is? I want
Oh,
you
I'm sorry. I
to
thought you wanted me to scroll all the way down. Yeah, right there.
no. I want you to look at where Ondaria is and just keep that in mind. I want
Mm-hmm.
you to keep in mind that some of these units, not all of them, but some of these units are higher than Ondaria. We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that. All right. To start us
First
off,
off, we got
Elena
Elena.
at a perfect 99.
All right.
All right, we don't even need to cover this. We all know. We all know.
We got Arumat at 98. Huh?
Um, Apparently, Aramat is almost a perfect unit, meaning that he is essentially extremely useful in Arena and Colo as well.
Unless we're assuming Guild Raid, in which case.
In which case,
Okay.
still what the fuck?
Senbon, best
Senbon
transmutator in the game, 95.
got dropped 3 points.
Dropped 3 points and a full tier. Nia at 94. We're dropping another tier to tier 2. Gajil at 94. I believe that's still.
Yep. No.
Hang on.
That's tier 2, yeah. Gajil is tier 2.
Oh, I scrolled right over Gajil. Okay,
No
yeah.
worries.
Tier 2. Bailey is tier 2. Along with Dranuel, who shares her score. What?
Apparently, Dranuel and Bailey are on equal terms, even though Bailey essentially beats out Dranuel in every way.
Bailey is almost a straight upgrade of Dranuel.
Mm-hmm.
He even makes cat puns.
Yep.
I'm calling it right now. And I'm not. I'm implying this. I'm not saying this for a fact. I think that Tech has prejudice against cat puns.
It's true. We've seen this in Niami as well.
Yes.
Okay, I guess next we can move on to Bjorn and Lindlin at 93, even though on the list I believe they are in situational.
Yes, you are correct.
We're down to situational now.
More tiers. We have dropped more tiers. We've got
Next.
Honoka Issa. I said Issa. Hisa at 93 as well, but now we're back up in tier 3 again. Then we've got Miel at 92.
Yeah.
Apparently. I'm just going to. Okay. Miel, tier 3. All right.
Miel. Okay.
We're gonna ignore that to avoid a repeat of what happened last time.
Yep. Vector at 92.
Same rating as Miel.
Okay.
No.
Baiken at 92.
Tiers lower than Miel. So 92 is very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Baiken at 92, who is in tier 3 again. So what happened with Vector? Yeah. And then we've got Alround at 92, and now we're in situational. So 92 now encompasses tier 3, situational, and kind of usable.
Yeah.
And again, I hope you guys are keeping an eye on Ondaria, because you're going to see where she is in a moment. Nadjet at 92, who I believe is kicked into situational tier. On the surface, I don't have a problem with this. I do, however, have a problem with where Vector is, which I believe I explained last time. Vector should not be lower than Nadjet.
Agreed.
Then there's Ochako at 91, and Ochako is in situational. Ochako is in situational at 91. Now we're at Ondaria, who has a 91, and is in tier fucking 1.
Which, by the way, should be in God tier.
It's the most accurate of the units that I just listed, but it's still wrong. And why does Ondaria have the same score as something that is a full 3 tiers below it?
It's absurd.
In fact, why does Ondaria have a lower score than Vector, who is 4 tiers below?
The other thing is
Vector a 92 and barely usable, and Ondaria is a 90 tier 1.
Why are we putting Andaria a full 8 points lower than
Then
Elena, who she is
Elena,
arguably a direct upgrade to.
yeah. And then Dizzy in situational at 90. Same grade as Limil, which is the same grade as Ophiuchus.
I'm going to bring up Ophiuchus right now because do you think Ophiuchus should be higher?
I think she should be significantly higher.
Thank you. Ophiuchus is the solution to for those of you who haven't heard of it. There is a strategy called Timlo nuking. It was came up with by none other than Timlo, who drew the rejected Swoleboy art for the Gumi contest. It was absolutely hilarious. But Ophiuchus is an extra action unit that essentially allows you to Timlo nuke without breaking paradigm. Correct?
Which is pretty absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is extremely powerful, especially with how hard Earth hits, with how ridiculous it is. Being able to not break paradigm and Timlo nuke, meaning that you can run Aeromat friend and you can run an Aeromat lead, all that stuff, and just absolutely obliterate anything in your path without breaking paradigm.
With just the greatest of ease.
And he put him at 90 when you would run Ophiuchus over an Elena. You would run an Ophiuchus in the same squad that you would run an Andaria, also over Elena. It just drives me insane.
Also, again, I still want to point out Miel is still at 92 on this list, which is above Ophiuchus.
Mm-hmm. Tell me why you would use Miel over Ophiuchus. Oh wait, you fucking wouldn't.
Are you telling me that you prefer, like, what is Miel? A fawn? I think she's a fawn. Miel is a fawn for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
So you're telling me that you're fine with fawns, but you're not okay with cat girls.
I don't know what to say. I feel betrayed. Elon Musk would be furious.
Elon Musk.
Next up, we've got Zeruiah, a dear girl.
At 89, so yeah. No love for the dear girl. I don't even think Zeruiah is kind of usable. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to treat one of the best item farm leads in the game for when that's relevant.
Yep.
I remember farming Waterbird bones without Zeruiah.
Next up,
the Waterbird bones come from chests, and that wouldn't matter. But I just felt like bringing that up because I can.
Yeah, you're good.
Zeruiah makes everything.
I love Zeruiah, both for her lore and her use, and her art.
Also, killing Bale. She should get like 5 points for killing Bale. Where is Bale on this list, by the way? 91. Put Zeruiah at 92 just so she's above Bale.
Mm-hmm. She kicked his ass. Avani at 89. Niala 88. Mordlim.
Yeah. Niala isn't even on this list.
Yeah.
Mordlim is at 88. Okay.
Desset at 87.
We've another one coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
If you look in the chat, you can see that Wanahan's at 84. This was after his update. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Desset at 87. Phelan at 87. Okay.
To answer Smith's question, yes, RAVEA'S ass is getting put at 100.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even on this scale, 100 for RAVEA'S
The only thing that ranks the same as RAVEA'S ass is Gaston, who, in my opinion, is equal in strength to RAVEA'S ass.
What about Beatrix, the Master of Suck?
Powerful, but she can't stand up to Gaston.
All right. I just wanted to make sure we're clear.
Yeah. Extremely powerful, but no contest between Beatrix and Gaston. Continue.
We have better consistency rating the power levels of a unit's ass
and a meme
than the actual list.
I could actually hold on, let me power skill this right now, okay? The absolute
Oh no.
insane amount of power that exists in Ravia is actually in the lore. You can read it, I swear, all concentrated within the alt art, specifically within the part of her ass. It's big because it is a reservoir of pure power which stores the extra action buff, right? It makes perfect sense. Gaston, on the other hand, is known very well as being the best leader skill in the game because no one leads like Gaston. And therefore, I have already given more explanation as to why a picture of a unit's ass and a meme is... I mean, I've given better description of a picture of a unit's ass and a meme than the descriptions given by this entire tier list, straight up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I would say that is completely accurate.
Yeah.
Then we have Phelan at 87, tied with Desset, just below Mordlin.
All right.
Hisui at 86.
Fang
We're going
Fang
off
at
the tier now.
86.
I don't think any of these wrap back around until you get to one who's been put in, what, tier 3?
I believe
so. Just a quick note that Wanahan is tier 3. All of these units are higher rated than him and aren't even on the list. So those units include Fei and Fang.
Ibera.
Do they triple attack or do they just self-spark?
I don't know.
I think they just self-spark.
Probably.
I'm checking right now because I want to figure it out. Earth attack on all foes. Earth attack on all foes. SP. Nope, it's just a double. Perfect sparks.
Okay.
All right.
Still, a double attack that self-sparks. Fantastic budget Earth nuke.
Same level as Hisui.
For some fucking reason.
Dion is down here too, above Wanahan. Edia, Ariana, Rosalia, Hetefres, all higher than the mini Wanahan.
Wanahan is incredibly powerful after the update. He is, as Fafnir said, a literal mini Aeromat.
And he's being lumped together with the same grade as Feline, Gondre, Daros, and Nimune, and is only 1 point higher than fucking Borrow.
I demand an explanation.
Eyeball guy that I keep getting in my summons and won't screw off. Oh, and also all of this is higher than Leona, though this was before her update, but her update was a nerf. So that makes me rag on this extra hard.
Yep.
Leona's update gave her more cost, effectively kicked her out of the Kahlo class that she excelled in.
Yep.
So it was effectively a nerf. Then we got Zelnite. Then we have the meme himself, Terry, who was, again, did not have his update at this point, but was still extremely prevalent in the tiers that he was in. So, what?
Who even knows?
Then there's Lanza, Mariletta. Now we're going off the tier. I'll go ahead and take a quick note. None of these units, I don't even know what Ragsbeal does.
Yeah, me neither.
Though I am going to say that Zevelhua, for what it's worth, is a great budget Earth unit. Does not deserve a 76. Zevelhua does not deserve fucking Borrow.
Absolutely. Not only is she lower than Borrow, she's 7 points lower than Borrow.
Exactly.
Based on our scaling that we see within this tier, that's like 7 fucking tiers.
3 is lower than Borrow.
Alright, dude. Good lord.
Move on to Fire.
Fire, our last one. Thank God we're almost done.
And let me just quickly note that Fire starts off with the absolute lowest score of any of these elements. It doesn't even have a unit at 97 or higher. It starts at 96. which, if we're following all of the other grading scales, means that fire should not even have a unit in God tier. But it does. It has
Yeah.
Bakugos, which I agree with. I just don't agree with the 96. And we've got Kayena also at 96, a tier lower than Bakugo because consistency is a dream. And that's all for God tier and tier 1. You wanted your fire units, there they are. That is all the units in those.
That's it. That's all you get.
Everything else is below.
Yep.
Then we get to Annette, who is in tier 2. A 4-point drop, so we just get there. Kaguya in situational. Kaguya in situational.
Okay.
All
right, I'm about to head out anyway. This is absurd. Next up.
I could have sworn. No. We're not done with Kaguya yet.
All right.
Kaguya has a triple attack, doesn't she?
We can check.
I'm checking right now. Fire attack on all foes, fire attack on single foe. I could have sworn she did.
Check her SP.
I am. I could have sworn she had a triple attack, but even then, she doesn't deserve to be in, like,
situational. Yeah.
She is the best. She's the best overdrive filler for fire.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. This is a bit. I don't know. I'm questioning, to say the least, the knowledge that was put into the setup of these levels, ratings, and tiers. But we can continue on to Ellie, who is one of the best units in the game for Timlo nuking. Again, more usable.
And it's in tier 2, despite being in the same grade as Kaguya.
Yeah.
What do you have a prejudice against Beyblades?
Yeah, Beyblade, let it rip, dude.
Is this because of that one episode where Moses split the sea with a Beyblade?
It would seem that way.
Is it because it intrudes on religion?
Yeah, I guess that's why we hate it.
Yeah, Kaguya only has 2 attacks. I figured that out. Amatel here at 93. Same, like 1 grade lower than Annette. I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah. Blaze at 93 too. Okay. That puts
it,
I know we don't compare across elements, but just take a moment to recognize that puts Blaze and Bailey at the same level.
I would also like to take a moment to point out that Blaze is still higher than Corzan even here, which is wrong.
Yep.
All right. Now we're on to Sorag, who has a 92. I will let you take this one.
Sorag isn't a triple attacker, by the way. He's a double attacker. While he is an excellent single target nuker on his BB and a hard hitting nuker on his SBB, he is not a triple attacker. He is. I mean, he belongs way higher than 92. He is a comparable to Bakugo LS. He is a great LS, a hugely damaging kit. If you put, I don't think he has recast on UBE, but if you put Master of the Hunt on him, I mean, he will slap some shit around. Let me check the actual values of his UBB, but I know that he has an extremely useful UBB, even without Master of the Hunt, and then you put Master of the Hunt on him, and he becomes absolutely absurd.
We can't judge it based on Master of the Hunt. It wasn't out
true,
yet.
you're right. But still, even without Master of the Hunt, we get 100% elemental mitigation, 500% elemental weakness damage, 500% crit damage, and 100% chance of inflicting ailments.
I'll tell you what has a majority of that nuking damage and things you just listed and is a triple attacker but isn't labeled one on this list. Natsu, who has the same grade as Sorag, is directly below it.
Natsu, again, and I disagree with Natsu's rating here and on the tier list. Putting Natsu, where did he put Natsu again? I'm trying to find him.
Natsu's in tier 3?
Yeah, you can't put Natsu, one of the best fire nukers in the game, a triple attacker, in tier 3. Even when he came out, I mean, when he came out, he was nuts. He was great. He's still a great mono fire lead. But
I
the
was
fact that you can BB and then receive an extra action and SBB is, I mean, that's fucking awesome.
also someone pointed it out, but Svalin's here at 92, and that pushes Svalin to situational tier.
Yep.
This is also the same tier that gave us multiple tier threes, and
Hmm.
I consistency is a dream.
It is. I wish we had some consistency right now.
The
Also,
tall
Zace being below Blaze
Yeah,
drives me nuts, but
Zace
yeah.
being both plays. Ugh. And then Corzan, same as Zace. Old Horse, same as Zace and Corzan.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Balefur at 91, which is the same. Like, I don't have an issue with Balefur's rating. I do, however, have an issue with him having the same rating as Morgana, Azurai, and Laressa,
Mm-hmm.
and also being higher
Then
than
Zegstia.
Dextia
Mm-hmm.
and Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay, so I mean, we covered that chunk there. Grant at 89. I don't remember where he is on the tier list.
I believe he is in situational. I think we are firmly in
Yeah.
situational now. Which, by the way, I'd just like to note that even though Fire had the lowest starting element, it's been given enough leeway to have equal presence on the tier list.
Mm-hmm.
So even though in other elements an 89 would just be in GTFO tier, now it's just in situation.
Yeah.
Or in the case of Fang, who I don't think we've even hit yet. Fang's at 88, and she is in tier 3.
All right. Yeah.
This is the same rating as Ludero, Rain, and Cert.
We put Cert at
Cert
88.
okay, Cert is going to be our Theodore for the remainder of.
Fucking
So
triggered.
below Cert, we've got Omni Owen,
Oh,
Eris,
okay.
Ruby, Rugar,
Rugar, amazing budget fire nukes. I used Rugar for the longest time because I
Johnny,
didn't have a Blaze.
Michelle, Agnia, Afladilith, Adele, Alicott,
Oh,
just
a cot.
follow, Barian, Glenn, Love Avant, Rahotep,
Oh my god.
Adriesta is at 76.
Kolyuk at 77. I mean, it makes sense.
Kolyuk higher than
Kolyuk's
Adriesta.
great unit. One of the Divine 10, extremely powerful.
In my dreams.
Rengaku apparently deserves a 76.
Is it because he's an overdrive filler?
um,
Makes about as much sense as anything else at this point.
yeah, pretty much. We can finish off this list by, looking at the rest of the trash. Griff, Shura, Lioness, Barbara. Barbara, oh my god. Forgot that unit even existed. Sol and Vargas.
I don't even think those are worth mentioning. I think that they're fine as is, or
Yep.
I am not educated on what those units do
Mm-hmm.
enough. They are just so old and
Mm-hmm.
not even really worth judging. This is the
I,
point where the GFO tier makes some sort of sense. But it
yeah.
takes a long time for it to get to this point, and it's long before he actually reaches it.
I really yeah. We were gonna break down the top 15, but I feel like we kind of already did it. And on top of that, I actually don't know if I can spend a single more second looking at this.
I'm going to go ahead and quickly go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like really quickly. I'm going to
Please
pull
do.
it through. So, first of all, we've got Elena on here, which she should be significantly lower on here, if not on it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Agreed.
Pharaoh Anya isn't on this list at all, even though being meta at the time. Fenia is on this list, despite
Mm-hmm.
not being meta at the time because of the Deku strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, The Newt Kranus shouldn't even be on this list at all. Just bump him up a point and call him Kranus, please.
Yep.
Or bump him up 2 points and call him Kranus. Whatever you need to do to keep Kranus this one unit, do it.
Yeah.
And then we've got Xenon on here, Kranus. And then we got Vale on. Granted, we didn't know about the strategy at that time, but it's still... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There are units at 96 that
Mm-hmm.
I know we probably could have gone top 15 and more in depth, but I feel like after a certain point, we've hit the event horizon of what we can say about this without coming off as redundant.
Yeah.
And until Tech updates it again, I don't think we're going to cover it again.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I'd just like to close this out with a bit of a statement to Tech. So he has repeatedly told people that despite people not really liking this tier list, that people haven't really stepped up to do it themselves. So he's going to keep doing it, and they should just not have a problem with it. So I'm gonna. This might be a little bit premature, but we're at not like Raccoon and I, but we've got a group of people who are prepping a tier list right now that will be out sometime in the near future.
And Fafnir is right to say that he and I are working on it. We are part of the revision team, and we helped grade some of the units. On top of that, this is a team of extreme meta end game players. These are the people that I would 100% definitely, gladly, and firmly say are the most knowledgeable people in this game.
And we're not giving them like freaking collated number grades. We're grading them by category so people can know what it means for a unit to have a specific score and kind of judge where they're good.
Absolutely. And we can break down that tier list on video too if that's a request.
That would be great. I would love doing that. I get the feeling that we would have less this situation. But this is, again, this isn't an attack against Tech. This is just an answer to what he said.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be said.
With that, I feel that we can conclude this unless you had any closing comments, Fafnir.
I don't believe I do.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and appreciate the review of this tier list, and that you can, I would like to state that you are absolutely more than welcome to disagree in the comments. Tell us what you have to critique. Tell us what you think is wrong, what you think is right, all of those things. But, yeah, absolutely, just open forum in the comments. Tell us what you think. Thank you so much for watching, guys.